This is the Silver Yachts SpaceCat Reduce, and if she looks familiar, it's because her sister ship, called SpaceCat, is in White Lotus, and that boat's name is very apt because this thing is absolutely enormous. 36 metres, 483 guest tons, 5 guest cabins, an 18-foot hot tub. It is a real party platform. It's also got 4 Volvo Penta IPS 1350s with 1,000 horsepower each, so it'll top out at 25 knots. Big cats are all the rage at the moment. Let's see what this one has to offer. I'm Jack Haines, welcome to YachtBuyer. Before we carry on with this tour, make sure you're subscribed, hit subscribe, hit that bell icon, and you'll never miss one of our videos. And we're going to start right down here at the waterline because it is a great demonstration of just how wide this boat is. It's the best part of 45 feet wide. It is just huge. And these 2 fixed aft platforms are linked by this adjustable one that drops down into the water. It can be raised up as well. Obviously, it completes the full width of this platform. The tender actually lives way up on the flybridge. We're going to see that towards the end of the tour, but you can launch and recover a jet ski off there. And from here, we head up to what is one of the coolest parts of this boat. Let's get up there. Let's have a look at this cockpit, shall we? It goes without saying that it's absolutely enormous. This staircase leads up to the bridge. Separate engine rooms, of course. We are on a multi-hull. We're going to go through all of that later on, but let's have a look at this pool, shall we? It's 18 feet. 10,000 litres, has a tank below as well, so when they're not using it they can drain it into the tank and then refill it again in about an hour. It's all heated, of course. I'm sorry to disappoint you, the teddy bear does not come with it. That's here for a party that they had during the show, but pretty eye-catching all the same. And you can see you've got the cutout above as well, so this really is going to catch the sun during the day, and it's fringed by seating here, and the fact that you can just sit on this edge, have your feet in the pool, you don't have to be right in. It's a party place, isn't it? And of course, any good party place has got to have a good bar, and it has. Over here with a TV behind it, which connects to this seating area. Over here, you can just see how much room I've got to maneuver in this space. It is just vast. I can hear it echoing even. The scale of this thing is remarkable, and it continues on the inside. And into the main deck saloon, where once again there is lots and lots of space to enjoy, and plenty of space for the furniture in here as well. You could have a bigger dining table in here if you wanted, but what's nice is that it still takes in those views from those big windows on the port side, and you've still got a great view out over the pool. So if you just want to be inside but sort of enjoying the action, you're well connected to that aft deck. And then on the starboard side, load of space for more comfortable furniture. You're lounging around, watching the TV. Underneath, this is all storage, mainly for the crew stuff, table settings, that type of thing, and you've got even more storage up here. And then through here, right at the end, we've got the owner's cabin, but there's a couple of things to point out before we get down there. I'll just take a moment to talk about the layout, because being such a big multi-hull, it's quite unique. Through this door, we're down into the starboard hull, forward is the crew mess, after that there's a twin cabin, and then in this section we have the owner's cabin, as I've mentioned, plus a guest cabin, plus the galley. So we'll look at that first. That's access down to the crew cabin, so that's separate from the crew mess. We're here early, the crew, a lot of them are sleeping, so we're not going to go down there, but we can show you the galley and the mess. Nice galley this. It's up on the main deck, so chef has got great views, and this wraparound design feels to me like it would work really well. Loads of countertop, island in the middle for plating, so the stews can easily run stuff out. You've got the cooling up here, but there's loads more cooling down in the engine room, which we'll look at later on. But yeah, it feels like a really nice professional space, and lovely and bright. Nice place to work, I imagine. Opposite this, we'll take a look at that twin cabin. The nice thing about the arrangement of this boat, all of the guest cabins, apart from that one down there, are elevated, so you have great views and big windows. Loads of natural light, nice places to be. Private bathrooms as well. Obviously this is a twin, so you've got the 2 single beds, but you've got your own TV in here. You can set your climate, set your music, all very luxurious, and yeah, good sized bathroom there with a lovely separate cubicle. But this is where we get to by far the best bit of the accommodation, the owner's cabin. Right forward, the width is just extraordinary. It's not quite full beam because you've got to account for the side decks, but it's not bad. It's vast, absolutely vast, and really nice that the bed is arranged in such a way that you're lying in bed looking out. I mean, if you wake up as the owner, say you're just moving between bays, you're a long way from the engine room, you can drift along quietly and you wake up to that. Lovely, isn't it? Storage all around here. The bureau is built into this section here, which is nice. Again, your view when you're doing some work is spot on. Behind that, just a wall of storage, plenty of space for your clothes, and then a really lovely ensuite. Partition door to give you some privacy. Nice big shower cubicle here. The toilet's in there. You know, look at this big vanity. Twin sinks with storage beneath it, and crucially, always a great opportunity to look forward and take in the view. It's lovely. And the other nice thing about this cabin, so it takes me a few seconds to get to the other side of it, is you've got direct access from this side door out to the foredeck. So as the owner or lead charter guest, you can come out here onto what feels like a private terrace and enjoy yet more of the floor space that you've invested in. The whole boat is covered in this synthetic Sika teak. It's very good at reflecting heat. It doesn't get too hot, but you can see it looks like it picks up the dirt quite a lot. So quite an intense job for the crew to keep it clean. And there's lots of it, of course, because there's a lot of deck space. And out here, you can see this is all freestanding furniture. So whatever you want to arrange out here, you can effectively. This sofa is obviously underneath this big overhang, so it's in the shade. A couple of sunbeds here for when you want to do some real sunbathing. And this is such a nice, almost gallery terrace. Imagine going along, you've got these slender hulls peeling through the water, possibly some dolphins dancing around down there. This is a great viewing gallery. It's a working area as well. You've got an anchor here, an anchor over there, and storage in the middle. And it's full symmetrical decks, full walk around. The decks are like bowling alleys on either side. They are absolutely huge, and there's storage lined all the way, plus boarding gates fore and aft. So, you know, this is a high boat, big freeboard. That makes it easy to get on and off. I think we're going to stay outside now, go back to that staircase and check out bridge deck aft. Before we head up there, let me just point out something else on this level. There is a day head on this deck. Quite convenient that it's outside. If you're in wet trunks, been swimming, you can pop in there, use the loo, and you're straight back out onto deck. Right, let's head upstairs. Up here on bridge deck aft is probably where guests are going to be doing most of their dining when they're on board. There's another staircase up to the sun deck, but because of the size of this table, the fact that you're outside but you're well protected, not only by this overhang, but also you can see those doors over there. They slide, but you can close them to stop the wind funneling around. So a really nice place to dine pretty much whatever the weather. And the other thing I like is you've got another almost terrace feeling place like you have at the bow, but here you're leaning over, checking out the shenanigans going on down in the pool, and there's some sunbathing spots either way. It does feel like a big balcony. This huge cutout they've got in the deck here works really well. Either side of the table, this is all servery space really for the crew to use. They've got fridges here, storage for all the bits and bobs to keep this table running, and like downstairs, it connects really nicely to an internal living space. And though the decor and the furniture is slightly different in here, it does feel like a bit of a scaled down version of what we have downstairs. For me, I'd make this a proper lounge, all really comfortable seating, maybe a little cards table. Instead, we've got another dining table here. I just wonder, you know, whether you're going to use that over the one downstairs. I just feel like that space could be used a little bit better. It's never too bad to have sofas that comfortable nearby though, but yeah, I just expand that lounge feeling up there, I think, because it connects so nicely to where you're probably going to be having your dinner. There's another TV up here. They invested a lot of money in the AV, especially the sound system in this boat. It's really, really high quality stuff. This is a party machine waiting to be unleashed. And there's more storage as well, all hidden away like downstairs behind these panel storage there. You can see it all lined up here. They've got the space to have lots of practical stuff as well, of course. If we continue forward, 2 more VIP cabins and right forward, the bridge. Here we arrive at 2 VIPs. They're identical. We're going to go into the starboard one, and the reason for that is we can see Bold, which is probably the most famous yacht that Silver Yachts, who are responsible for this, have built. And it just builds into that idea that guests have got a great view from their spaces. We're obviously even higher on this deck, so possibly not surrounded by boats, but when you're out and about in an anchorage, you're going to wake up to wonderful views in these cabins. And of course the space is great. I'll just point out, we're higher up on the boat now, head height's still pretty extraordinary. A whole wall of storage over on that side. You can walk around the bed really comfortably, And then again, using a partition door, you've got this nice bathroom. No window in the shower, so no view from there, but you know, triple glazing in the cabin itself isn't too bad. And you have got space for a nice separate cubicle, toilets down there, and then run of storage underneath. As I said, on the other side, we've got the exact same thing. Just worth pointing out, in this lobby area, there's a wine fridge as well. No doubt this could be amended to give these guests some facilities as well, so they can grab a drink, maybe even make a coffee without having to go down to the galley. Right forward, there's a passageway down to the main deck internally before you arrive at the bridge itself. Come and take a look at this helm. Before we get to the helm though, let's talk about propulsion. Obviously, you see slender, aluminium, designed to be efficient, and they've used a relatively efficient drive system as well. It's got 4 IPS 1350s, so 4,000 horsepower in total, and being a cat, that means you've got 2 engines in each hull. I'm going to show you that layout when we're down in the engine room. The upshot is that she'll top out at nearly 25 knots and cruise, her fast cruise is 18 knots, and then drop it down to 12 and you've got 3,300 nautical miles of range. And of course, it being IPS, you've just got the joystick. We see these on all the production boats that I test have the same thing here. It doesn't matter, you've got 4 engines, you've got the same capability. No bow thruster though, but the captain said he was bringing it into a tight berth here by the bridge. The IPS worked brilliantly. It's even got DPS, so he can push the button and know the boat can stay still. There are of course wing stations on both sides as well, so he doesn't have to be in here to do the control. And of course, when you get out to sea, you're on the throttles like you are with any IPS boat. And I like this arrangement. You can stand in the middle, you can survey your screens very easily, and you can just about peek over and see the points of the bow. But then when you're on longer passages, you've got 2 nice comfortable helm seats. I like the fact that you can sit back and you've got the IPS joystick right under your arm, and of course you can use IPS at speed as well. So you can see there is no steering wheel. You've got rudder control, your throttles and your joystick, and that's your lot. Away from the helm, you've obviously got comms up here, and again, because we've got so much beam, we've got 2 dinettes. So this is a nice place, mainly for the crew to be, but of course, guests may want to come and chill out up here and take in the view. There isn't a huge amount going on forward of this. It's a Portuguese bridge, but it's really just a viewing platform. But of course, the side door is important because that's where the wing stations are. So whichever side to the skipper's going, he's got a joystick on either side. Pretty good setup. Right, let's check out the sun deck. Okay, the sun deck. It's vast. It's probably about the same size as the sort of sun deck you'd get on a 50-metre square footage wise. It's gigantic, and there's plenty of space aft for your tender. 25-foot rib sits on here, absolutely no problem. Got the crane to launch and recover, and a spot for yet another jet ski. And then forward of that, it's all just vast quantities of living space. Be it these aft-facing sofas, the sun pad, big bar here. These incidentally are the air conditioning units. They're air cooled rather than using a water chiller system, hence why they're up here and exposed. But yeah, big bar opposite the dinette. So the main wrap of seating is round here, but you could just get a few slim chairs here so you can seat more people up here to dine. And that leaves space right forward for a bit of freestanding furniture and then your sunbathing space. But again, they've created that nice terrace vibe that I really like. I think if you're coming into a new destination, a new port, this would be such a great place to be. Top of the boat, looking forward, taking in the views. It's a great spot. Before we head down to the engine room, let's go and have a look at the crew mess. Aft of the crew mess is that 5th guest cabin I was telling you about. Now it hasn't got those elevated views, but it's still a really big space. 2 berths at floor level, 2 more Pullmans up here, so you can sleep 4 people here in total. And obviously it's a great extension of the crew space if you need it to be, although they've got all their cabins on the port side of the boat. There's a television in here, they've still got space for a bureau, loads of storage room up here, and yet another really nicely finished ensuite. No natural light or ventilation, but it's a good size. Even right down here at the bottom of the boat, look how much headroom there is. The space is everywhere. It's not just how wide it is, it's tall as well. So there is loads of room wherever you are. Yeah, sink behind you, shower cubicle, all very nice. Well, let's head forward and check out that crew mess. Moving forward in the starboard hull, we come to the crew mess, which is totally separated by the entire boat from their sleeping accommodation, which is nice. They have their space to sleep and their space to come chill out when they're off rotation, and they've got twin tables. They've got a really nice run of galley. Of course, the main galley is up on the main deck, but they've got a big fridge, they've got microwave, sink, loads of storage here, so really self-contained. And I've mentioned the head heights, that obviously extends down here, so it doesn't feel like you're trapped in a dark, dingy cave. You've got a couple of portholes, domestic size fridge freezer here, and loads of storage for dry goods. And then right forward through this door, the laundry, which is another big space, feels like a utility room really. Twin dryers, twin washing machines, and because they're separate from the sleeping space, the crew haven't got these whirring away when they're trying to sleep. It's really nicely done. Let's go and head to the engine room. Access to the engine rooms, plural, is via these doors in the cockpit. This being a Cat, we've obviously got two engine rooms to choose from. We've come into the starboard one simply because the generator's not on, so it's quieter. They both have this ante-room as well, though they're fitted out slightly differently. This one's got extra cooling space, and a lot of it, and a compressor to fill up the dive tanks. Over on that side, it's more of a workshop for the engineer to work on the machinery. Either way, plenty of space in each one. The luxury of space continues down into these working areas, and it's the same inside the engine room itself. It's a mighty threshold through that watertight door. I'll also point out there is an escape hatch here with a ladder that leads out into the cockpit if you need to get out or in an emergency. A generator right in front of you when you first walk in, and then the control panel. Obviously you've got those on both sides. And then look at this. The benefit of having more smaller engines means much smaller blocks. So we've got two on this side, two on that side, and there's plenty of space to work on these. And the pods, crucially, it's an important part of the IPS package. Looking after the engines is one thing, looking after the pods is another, but it's all very easy here. You can get between them, you can get around them, you can easily sort of lean over and spec by eye, but also if you need to clamber down there, it's not too bad either. The luxury of space on a Cat extends all the way down to the machinery. The intention for this was to be a turnkey package. About 21 million euros, it's yours and ready to go. And if you want bang for your buck, space for your cash, well, for a 36 metre, it doesn't get any more spacious. It's not just the living spaces for the guests on board, it's the hosting space. If you want to have loads of friends and family, we had 85 people up there for a party on the sun deck early in the show, and there was still room to spare. If you want to be visiting marinas very often, then that could be a bit tricky. It's a big old thing. However, if you want to live remotely and have your own floating island, it works a dream. Thank you very much for watching that tour of Reduce. I hope you enjoyed it. Really cool boat. Let me know what you think about it in the comments and where you take it, if you had one, most importantly. If you like big power Cats, we've also done the wider Cat 92. I'll put that up there for you. If you'd like to subscribe, you can do that by clicking up there. Thanks again for watching. I'm Jack Haines. This is YachtBuyer.